MrBeast is in big trouble. A few days ago, a video was uploaded to a totally new and blank channel, Dogpack404, called I Worked for MrBeast, He's a Fraud, where Dogpack, who's an ex-employee of MrBeast, exposes the big cheese of YouTube, claiming that his videos are fake and scripted, along with other claims like the MrBeast empire is essentially built on manipulating children into subscribing and watching, and that MrBeast uses gambling psychology to get his audience, which comprises of a lot of children, to buy his merch, buy his chocolate, engage with his giveaways, etc. So anyway, let's jump into this one. He starts off the video by explaining how he believes MrBeast manipulates children's minds using 3 steps. The first one being conditioning the viewer to see MrBeast as a trusted authority. The second one being showing the viewer that when people help MrBeast, they get rewarded big time. And the third one, to call on the viewer to help MrBeast in return for rewards.
And step 3 is finally calling on the viewer to act in some way that benefits the brand, promising big rewards in return. Now it's your turn to do what MrBeast tells you, and you will win big rewards. But you actually won't unless you're famous or friends or family of a MrBeast employee.
If I'm being totally honest, I don't really know what this is supposed to prove. So I'm guessing this is in like a Slack. I don't know what a Slack is because I don't have a real job. But I think this is a Slack based on the message. Hey Beast fam, just sending out my monthly reminder that we are actively taking new applications for contestants to send to friends and family. We are putting a big focus on replenishing our local database, North Carolina and Virginia contestants. Anyone in North Carolina and Virginia can fill out this form. Let me know who applies right here through Slack and message me with any questions you may have. I mean, that doesn't really mean anybody other than MrBeast's friends and family can get involved. In my opinion, it just makes sense to have local people who have connections within the company and live relatively locally on their database, because it seems more reliable than just having some random bloke from the other side of the country that no one can vouch for on there.
Have you ever faked a video?
No.
But this train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, this pit is fake, this guy is fake, this raccoon is a paid actor, this island costs more than $1, this city is not abandoned, these buildings are CGI, but it's not your only way out. You can literally get an Uber to the airport for $20. That's not a lurker. It's just a guy. This whole room is fake. This contestant is an actor and a secret employee at MrBeast. They had him dive through this fake door twice. This line is scripted. This action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted.
Okay, tell you what, let's break this down. Let me give you my thoughts on this. I don't think the train track being CGI is a big deal. They still lobbed a train into a pit at the end of the day, which is pretty sick. Like, it's so pointless. We all know what's going to happen when you drive a train into a pit. It's going to fall in the pit. It's still cool, though. Bus wheels being CGI, again, no biggie. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter in the video. The explosion, I thought we all knew that the explosions at the end of the videos were fake. I thought that was kind of just the bit. The shredder is CGI in this clip and the intro, and it is kind of obvious, but it doesn't really take anything away from the video in my opinion, because they actually do put a Lamborghini through a shredder. Similar sort of thing with the car being digitally lifted. They did actually launch a car over a load of buses. They just most likely made it look more impressive using CGI, and you can tell if you look at the first person clip and the side angles side by side, you can tell that it has been lifted. But again, in my opinion, I don't really think it takes too much away from the video. The pit being fake, I mean, yeah, look at it. Guy being fake is no biggie. It's just adding stuff in the frame, innit? Raccoon being a paid actor, lol. Island not costing $1. I have some knowledge on this now because more information has come out, and I'll talk about that later in the video. But yeah, technically it was just $1. City not being abandoned yet. That one's fucking stupid. He just went to a town called Kapari. I definitely butchered that, near Dubrovnik. And it is populated, albeit only populated by 950 people. But it's still populated and a semi-popular spot for people to visit for its beaches. But MrBeast responded to claims he lied about visiting an abandoned city with this. So this is in reply to a community note being put on a tweet of his advertising his abandoned city video. Seems the note was removed, but for clarity, it was abandoned decades ago. Also, I never said you can't drive to it. I just thought it'd be cooler to fly a helicopter, lol. And he's posted this screenshot. The site was severely damaged during the Croatian War of Independence. And yeah, I mean, it's not abandoned now, so I'm not really sure if you can make it out as if you're in an abandoned city away from civilization. Like, you're a short drive away from one of the most populated areas of the country. In fairness, though, this is maybe the closest you're going to get to an abandoned city. Although I will say, in my opinion, this delegitimizes the video a bit because it's not an abandoned city. The next and probably biggest claim is that all the videos with Mac, this guy here, are scripted because he's a secret employee of MrBeast. And I mean, yeah, I don't doubt that they're mates and he's perhaps an employee, but if you look back a few years on the channel, all the participants are his friends / employees. And honestly, I don't know how scripting videos would benefit him in any way, and there doesn't really seem to be any proof given for this in the video. However, this clip is shown of him completing a challenge at the last second. You did it! Yeah! Okay, honestly, after watching this video when it first came out, I thought it was a bit unbelievable. And I thought that the timer was maybe digitally altered to show a different time. But honestly, these things happen sometimes. I'm not just going to write it off and say it's fake because it was unlikely and convenient for the video. And okay, look, I know it might come across as I'm taking MrBeast's side a lot in this when I'm not. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Honestly, it would probably benefit me a lot more being contrarian and going like, yeah, fuck Jimmy, all his videos are fake. But I'm just giving my honest opinion and perspective on these clips.
During this time lapse on the 4th day of 7 days stranded at sea, you can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But after a hard cut, magically 5 people are awake, and 2 of the boys have bright yellow raincoats that they didn't have when it rained on day 2.
And after standing the whole night, completely soaked.
You didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht. It's ironic because this is one of the videos where they claim that they don't fake things.
But no, we have to be the real channel that doesn't fake things.
In this video, this wink was added in post. In fact, 58 was actually on the far opposite side of the room from 42, and he just didn't hear him. This whole revenge storyline was added in post. Multiple shots show how timers are edited in post. Timers are edited in post. Timers are edited in post. They also manipulated contestants' audio in post.
We got 15 minutes.
Okay, again, let's break it down. The beds. That is awfully suspicious. However, it could be like, I don't know, like a movie mistake or something. I don't know. It does seem like there's no one in there, so, I mean, it could be faked, or it could be a big editing blunder or something like that. They might just not have used the raincoats on that day for some reason. I don't know. I feel as though a lot of the claims in this clip are things that I won't be able to say are either true or false, in my opinion at least, because how on earth am I supposed to know if a revenge storyline was added in post or something like that? Although I must say, if that wink was added in post, that is an absolute CGI masterclass.
I mean, it's not like he's ever rigged the results of a challenge. That would be impossible because he films with hundreds of random subscribers, right? Wrong. Let's look at this video. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers.
So many people had jobs.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend. So yeah, the random subscribers you see in challenges are actually never random. They're almost always local to MrBeast, and oftentimes friends and family of MrBeast employees, or just the employees themselves.
Okay, yeah, probably not a fantastic idea to get your own girlfriend to be in a challenge video for a load of money, because obviously people are going to see you as having a bias towards her.
According to a former MrBeast employee, it would have been a PR problem if the boys had won by a lot. And because so many of the female contestants were MrBeast employees who got out immediately, production stepped in to actually make the results of the challenge closer.
Okay, let's for argument's sake just take this at face value and assume it's real. This delegitimizes the video a bit. Although I've noticed on a lot of shows, if one team is doing significantly worse than the others, the producers usually balance it out by giving the losing side some perks, so it's actually interesting. And this is like pretty brazenly done within the video. I don't know, it's up to you if you think that ruins the video. For me, it just makes the video more competitive instead of, say, the boys totally wiping out the girls.
You can actually see some of this happen on camera, like when Jimmy pays one of the boys $10,000 to leave, which is twice as much as the actual prize money. But doesn't make the same offer to the girls.
The boys were blowing you out of the water. I paid the one guy who knew how to solve them to leave. Now if you don't win, that was all for nothing.
At another point, he gives the girls a camera drone so they would have been able to see how many boys were left. It doesn't work out, but seeing how much they're willing to help them on camera, I'm willing to believe that they did, in fact, help them off camera.
I mean, yeah, that's not a totally massive leap, but there's nothing really backing that up. It's kind of just speculation. But this next bit, in my opinion, is the most damning accusation.
In my mind, I'm thinking it's a fair game, but it's not. If they were having problems finding people, they can see kind of what area you're in. And they came to my area many times, and I was in the smallest cupboard. They had like big ones, medium ones, and small ones. I contorted this little 4'10" body into the smallest space, and I was in there for hours. And they didn't even open the door because they were like, a person can't even fit in there. So they went in there and they opened all the cabinets, and my heart was like, oh, they're gonna find me, they're gonna find me. And then I could hear them saying, like, she's not here. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, she's not here. The other thing that they said is absolutely no climbing in the air vents or the ceiling. And they said it's because they do all their wiring in the ceiling.
So I am up here. Okay, I feel good about this spot.
If it was held accountable, especially because this was a YouTube original production, Zach would have been eliminated for cheating. He broke the rules, and guarantee you, if I climbed in the ceiling, MrBeast would eliminate me.
He was in the ceiling!
Okay, yeah, if true, that ain't right. If someone placed in a winning or almost winning spot, their achievement shouldn't be pushed aside because someone else in the video might be more popular or better for the ending. And the air vents thing, if true, is, in my opinion, clear rigging. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't want to throw around accusations and discredit someone that could well have done this legitimately. But yeah, the air vents thing, if true, that's not good. The majority of the rest of the video is going over how he believes Jimmy exploits the trust of his audience by running alleged illegal lotteries on his channel. And in all honesty, getting the point of that across with all of the information and the evidence and clips he provides would require me to show a hell of a lot of footage. And I don't really feel like there's all that much I'd be able to add to it. So if you want to look more into that, I'll leave the link to the original video in the description. What I will say is I think a lot of the criticism is more valid than other bits. Like there's a whole bit about MrBeast throwing a chocolate bar in a review video and this guy thinking it was a mask off moment because he didn't get the review he wanted.
Okay. I'm gonna get rid of these.
No, I want the Doritos.
No, you just don't. Trust me. You're a dark chocolate kind of guy. Yes. Okay. I can read the room. The room is red.
I feel as though that's maybe reaching, but I think there is also some perfectly legitimate criticism of the way he does lotteries and the legitimacy and legality around them. But there are some responses I want to look at here. So this is Chucky. He works very closely with MrBeast, and he posted on Twitter, I quickly wanted to debunk some of the info in this video since the guy who made it was on my team. It was my decision to fire him for erratic behavior. He worked at the company for less than a month and wasn't an employee for most of the videos he mentions to have knowledge on. There's so much in this video, and I want to specifically address him saying our videos are fake or staged, because this is not true and I was on set for many of these videos. You won't get in a video unless you're family or friends with someone that works at Beast. This is a wild statement that can easily be proven wrong. There's probably hundreds or thousands of people who have no affiliation to friends/family of Beast employees. Think the 456 people in Squid Game or ages 1 to 100, etc. Jimmy doesn't know more than like a dozen people, lol. The train track was CGI, the bus wheels are CGI, the pit is fake. He acts like he's exposing us for using CGI to make backgrounds look cool when we have done multiple public behind the scenes videos with So Crispy showing this. It's clearly not a secret. On top of that, we did drive buses in that pit, and the same with the train that you claim we didn't. The raccoon was a paid actor. I don't even know what to say about this. Clearly not an actor, lol. Island cost more than $1. Not true. We did pay $1 for this island. You can Google MrBeast purchased Outer Banks Island for $1, which stated this before the video was released. He moved into a $1 million mansion 2 months before being in a video $1 million mansion. So this is a claim about Mac. This was like an argument to show how close he was to, I guess, MrBeast and his crew. He talks about how 2 months before we filmed the first Mac video that he moved into a mansion. Mac was staying at a friend's house, and I'm not sure how that proves anything or why it's relevant. This wink was added in post, bro. He really did wink. This is a flat out lie again. The revenge storyline was added in post. He implies 42 and 58 was scripted and not real. The contestants themselves have talked about this on streams they did after the video. They legit don't like each other. He also claimed 58 was on the far opposite side and didn't hear him. Just because he was on the other side of the room, you don't think 58 heard him yell. How on earth would he know? Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers. He claims our 100 boys versus 100 girls video is scripted, and the proof is a random text saying it is. That's it. It was not scripted. Jimmy probably had countless people on set for that video, and it would have been impossible to hide. This video was not scripted. I was on set for this, and there was no bias for who won. He also implies that the video is fake because we had some employees on each team. The employees in the video were there to fill in for people who tested positive for COVID last minute right before filming. Thea, Jimmy's girlfriend, mentioned this on a podcast over a year ago. If it wasn't for COVID, they would have not been in it. They had the same amount of money on the line as everyone else. The random text was someone thinking it was rigged doesn't mean it's rigged, lol. He also suggested that the real-time video was fake. This is not fake. It was a nightmare to make this video, and it was legit filmed in 10 minutes. Also, I think some of MrBeast's giveaways are fake. Yeah, this is something else he said in the video. We do not fake giveaways. I've been hands-on with some of them and have personally been the person to connect winners with our accounting department to get paid. He also suggested we didn't spend $1 million on Samsung phones, and I can assure you we did. Another lie from you. I could keep going, but I don't want this to be too long. Dawson himself said on Reddit that he was on shrooms and weed when filming this video, which might explain some of the made-up stuff. Dawson was only employed from March 25th, 2024, and was let go on April 19th, 2024. He was on a 90-day trial, and we ended it early and paid him out to June 25th as we guaranteed the 90 days of pay so he could transition into a new job. I'd appreciate it if everyone reading this could help dispel all this fake rumors by spreading this info. Jimmy spends unfathomable amounts of money and time to ensure the integrity of what he does, and I hate to see it come into question with a bunch of lies. Dawson, if you leave this up, then you're a hypocrite. A pretty compelling argument, but Dogpack responded on Twitter with this: debunking your debunking. Good character assassination attempt. You leave leave out my unpaid trial period and also my time working for Idea Guys, a company for which MrBeast is a client. The founder of Idea Guys also had to get permission from MrBeast to hire me. So weird you guys wouldn't tell him I was erratic. Also, weed and shrooms was an obvious joke. Jimmy doesn't know more than like a dozen people. You expect people to believe this? How many people do his employees know? Who was the contestant in Train vs. Pit? How about Lambo versus Shredder? How did Ava's cousin Justin get into the Chocolate Factory video? Or Della Vlogs? CGI is clearly not a secret. Cool, so when Jimmy was accused of using too much CGI in Train vs. Pit, why did he deny it on Twitter? The raccoon was a paid actor. Bro, do you expect people to believe Chris and Chandler were just petting an actual wild raccoon? I thought that was a joke in the I thought that was just a joke. Whether it's a wild raccoon or not, it doesn't really matter. From your own source on the island, the transfer tax was $1 and the company also paid $27 in taxes and fees for the property. Also, you leased it back to the owner for $0. $1 plus $27 equals $28. Yeah, but the island still cost $1 at the end of the day. If you buy a house and pay, I don't know, 20 grand tax on it, because in the UK we have stamp duty. Whenever you buy a house, you have to pay a certain percentage of the house on in tax, basically. That house still displays as being sold for the sale amount minus the tax. So yeah, I mean, the island was bought for $1. This wink wasn't added in post. It was. Compare that wink to the contestant's other winks in other scenes and on his TikToks. His mouth always partially opens. Here, that doesn't happen because in the original footage, it was a blink altered to match the false revenge narrative. Oh, so that's how they could have done it. They could have like freeze framed one eye and just had the other one closed. Crazy. I don't know if that's enough evidence to claim the wink was added in post. Also, it doesn't really matter. Interesting how you didn't mention altering the timers or contestant dialogue in post. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers. You acknowledge that the contestants were not random subscribers, but refuse to acknowledge the clear rigging, which can be seen multiple times on camera. Please watch Upper Echelon's video analysing case law regarding this rigging. Also, I've heard now from people on the boys team that they were fed much later than the girls, and that production was clearly favouring the boys. So, big question. Does MrBeast fake his videos? I don't know. But I will be very, very cross if so. I love getting home and getting settled and putting on a Jimmy Beast video and letting the worries of my day fade away. Now, for clarity, personally, I don't think he fakes his videos. Although, I must add on here that we need to be careful with how we handle this situation because there was actually a video detailing what would happen if MrBeast got cancelled and turned evil. Oh shit, poison was discovered in MrBeast, but MrBeast money has explosives. Nuke launch challenge announced. Shit, final game fight to the death. MrBeast bombs a country and films it. How could you, Jimmy? World War III breaks out. No!